Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hello and welcome to an Inkdependence.com brief video review and water drop test. Today's ink is Diamine Shimmertastic. This is Red Lustre. This is the first of these Diamine Shimmertastics I have to show you. I'm actually going to do all of them over the course of the next several weeks, interspersed. So this is the red out of the collection. There are, 10 of these, so it's going to take quite a while. But anyway, this is the first one. This is Red Lustre, or Lustra, if you're sounding fancy. And I got all these in samples from Anderson Pens. This is the little sample vial that comes in. They come in 3 ml samples at the usual sort of cost. So $1.25, $1.50, something like that. This is actually a really good ink. I'm kind of surprised. I have a lot of these kind of sparkly inks. I've got the J. Herbon ones, and those are pretty okay. But I think this one is probably one of my favorites of all those. And I wasn't expecting it to like it that much. I'm like, whatever, red sparkly ink, who cares? But I do dig it a lot. Let's see if I can. You can see in the vial actually quite a bit of the sparkly stuff right there, and actually some down there in the tip. A little dimple in the bottom. This will fall out of solution. The glitter in here will fall out. Not quite, I don't think, as much as the J. Herbon. That seems to have larger glitter, I think. But this is very fine glitter, and it seems to stay in solution pretty well. It's kind of shimmery even just in there. And I've been using it in this pen mostly. Actually, entirely, now that I think about it. This is a Franklin Christoph, man. This is a Wahl Eversharp Skyliner. This is one of the newer ones. Actually, this is the very first model that came out, I believe. I got this at DC just after they released this, the new Wahl Eversharp stuff. So, anyway, this has got a semi-flex steel nib. It's a little bit flexy. It's fairly wet. Tends to stay wet on the nib and the cap. Haven't really had any dry out problems unless I leave it for a really long time, but that'll happen. So nothing much to speak of there. It all works pretty well. Now, of course, the thing to write home about it with this ink is the sparkle, the shimmer, and there you have it right there. And you can see it in the words as well. So it's not just in this big swatch, which as you saw at the beginning, it's in all the words. You get a fair amount of it in there. It seems to have not had nearly as much here as it did at the beginning. And that might be because one of the tricks you need to know about this kind of ink is that you want to take the barrel of the pen and just kind of roll it around. Some people shake it. I think that's a good way to get ink spewing out of your nib, and you don't want that. But if you just kind of roll it around a bit, that will get the ink moving around in the converter, and that'll sort of wash the gold particles around. Let's see what it looks like in here. I can't really see. It looks like there's no like real solid gold spots, I don't think. But you will kind of see it collect along the side if you have a demonstrator or something like that. And I have seen people put these inks in demonstrators without any big problems. Somebody put it in a TWSBI Eco on Instagram, and then it wiped out or washed out pretty easily. So, cool. So there you go. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, but also I wouldn't necessarily put it in like your difficult to disassemble pens. I've got in this pen which I can just take all the way apart. So there you go. All right. So we've seen that stuff. We've seen the shimmer. We've seen the color. The color is this cool kind of deep red. Almost a maroon. Like it's almost maroon. Not quite dark enough, I don't think, to be a true maroon. The dry time is super long, so slightly over a minute. Is what I timed it at here. I just kind of stopped going there. I think with the amount of smear you had here, add another 5 seconds or so, and that would probably be okay. But on Rhodia, that's super slow, even for Rhodia. Rhodia's, of course, a coated paper, as you know, I'm sure, and so it doesn't dry quickly in any case, but in this case, over a minute, that's a long dry time. So if you're a lefty, this is probably not going to work out well for you unless you like having smeary words, like very, very smeary words, and a very red, this part of your hand, whatever that part's called. Heel of your hand? I don't know what you call the side of your hand, come to think of it. Anyway, the distal edge of your hand, it will be all red if you try that as a lefty. Or if you're a person that turns pages quickly or whatever, you're going to have to wait. Or else get a blotter. That'll work too, I suppose. And here are some comparisons. I happen to have several reds and red adjacents inked up. This is a Tecker that I haven't shown yet. It's kind of a tomatoey sort of color. We got Schaefer Script Red, which is sort of a stereotypical bright red. It's a great ink. Really like that one. compared to the Diamine Lustre, or Diamine, however you like to say that. I got some oranges, a black, and a coppery sort of thing. Oh, Brandy Dazzle, that's what's at the bottom here. Brandy Dazzle is one of the ones I'll also be showing you in the future. This is another one of those shimmer-tastic inks. Let's see if I can get a little... There's the shimmer. Yeah, there we go. The rest of these are just regular... thanks, Cat, for kicking my tripod. The Kibaguru up there, this is my favorite black, of course, just to compare it to. And you get a little bit of matte shine on that, but nothing like the shimmer you get from Brandy Dazzle. And can I get that on the red? I'm not getting it. There we go, a little bit on the red. The Red Lustre. All right, let's try out the water test, see how this goes. Where's my squirty deal? Here it is. And there we go. That ought to be enough. There's plenty of water. All right. I don't think this is going to have any particular water resistance. It's not billed as having any, but that's kind of a thing we do in these videos. So we'll just do it for funsies and see what we end up with. All right. There we go. I think this was Tecker, actually, that the smoking hot. And yeah, as predicted, super not water resistant. So long dry time, and once it's dry, it will just come all off. Let's see if I can see the glitter in the... not really seeing any glitter on here. No, not really. So there you go. All right, so no water resistance. Boom. Just none at all. So there you go. All right, other stuff that we've done here. We can see copy paper test here. This is the copy paper test down here at the bottom. And this is, as you remember, I said this is a pretty wet nib, the semi-flex nib. And you see a little bit, if I zoom in, maybe a little bit of feather, but hardly any. Like some here, I guess, and maybe a little bit there. But it actually looks really good. And then on the back, just a couple of little bleed-throughs. Well, it kind of looks worse than it... Looks worse on camera, I think, than it does in person, just because of the way the light is. But not too bad, especially not with a big wet nib like this this Wall Eversharp's nib. It's it's meant to be semi-flex, so it's got plenty of flow, no problem at all. And this is a pretty wet ink and a pretty wet nib, so that's not terrible actually. I think if you were probably your use for this is going to be something fancy, so you're going to use it for art stuff. Or you're going to use it for, I don't know, heck, I'm going to probably use it on my Christmas cards or something this next year, something like that. And on those, you don't have to worry so much about this stuff. So, there you go. All right. Let's see. Here it is on the Tomoe River paper. Let's see if I can get some of the shimmer there. Yeah, there you go. There's some shimmer. It's all throughout. And I think it does a pretty good job. It doesn't really have any sheen. It's just got shimmer. So unlike the J. Herbans, which are tons of shimmer and sheen, it's kind of overkill. These are just a bunch of shimmer. So there you go. All right, so let's take a look at the chromatography here. And as you'll see over there at the left, plenty of movement on this guy. Never takes all that long for this chromatography to work. But let's go ahead and zoom in. Bam, there you go. So you get this kind of rosy color mostly. But if you notice, so I can show it here. Down at the edge, where actually there it is, where I first drew on the line, that's where all the shimmer stayed. It didn't go anywhere. You don't see any shimmer anywhere else on this strip, except for right there where the original line was. So that's kind of interesting. And now, I don't know what you artists can do with that. Maybe you can do something with it, but I thought it was cool, because I haven't seen that in the other ones. So let me look at these right quick. We've got Brandy Dazzle and the blue. There we go. Yeah, no, that happens with all of these. So the shimmer is going to stay down there at the bottom. That just seems to be a trait of this kind of ink. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so this has been Diamine Shimmer-tastic. Check this out on my blog at inkdependence.com if you're not already there, if you're on the YouTube channel. If you are on the blog and want to go to the YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/c/Michael Madison, my whole name, which will be on the blog, so you'll be looking at it. And go ahead and check out my wife's blog, which is www.writeonthenail with an R, Write on the Nail. Which is a nail polish blog, and she will be posting a Diamine Shimmer-tastic clone in nail polish. So if you like ink and nail polish, this is a great time for you. Check those out. We're doing these together, nibs and nails. All right, that's it. I'm Mike. This is Diamine Shimmer-tastic. Go check this out at Anderson Pens. Thanks very much to Brian and Lisa for sending this out for review. You see a little more gold down there at the bottom. It's kind of settled. Yeah, cool. Anyway, go there and check it out. Get yourself a sample. Get yourself a whole bottle. It's a little bit pricey at $20 a bottle, give or take. But you know, look, it's going to last a long time. This isn't going to be your everyday ink, even though I've been using it quite a lot. I was grading papers with this, so I don't care. They got sparkly grades. There you go. All right, that's it. If you like what you see here on the blog, subscribe, or rather on the channel, subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, do all the things. If you want to help support the blog, again, go to www.patreon.com/inkdependence to find out how you can set up a recurring monthly donation to help out with blog costs and whatnots. All right, that's it. Peace out, y'all.